it turns out to be about urban legends and the Thin Blue Line flag. So, I went and I started researching after the last council meeting, and I realized that what I was dealing with was an urban legend. And so I was really interested to find out what an urban legend was in a more formal way. So I went to Webster, and he talked, and he or she, whoever, whatever gender Webster is today, is that an often, huh?
They, them, sorry.
Oh, they, them, right. An often lurid story or anecdote. And if you don't know what lurid means, it means a story in vivid color, so in order to create some unpleasant or harsh or unnatural effect that is based on hearsay and widely circulated as true. But the dictionary.com gave me what I thought was a little better of a definition. It's a modern story of obscure origin with little or no supporting evidence that spreads spontaneously in various forms and is usually false. Now, when I talked to some, that I was going to talk about this a little bit before the meeting, and I was talking to one of my constituents here, they were saying that there's always two sides to every story, and that's true. But it's just sometimes one side gets generated by the truth, and one side gets generated by what people would like the truth to be. And how do you separate those kind of things? So I was just looking at some urban legend examples. And alligators are living in the New York sewers is a really good one. Or how about, how many times, if you're a guy, have you heard about this guy that invented this 100 mile per gallon carburetor that he got bought out by the gas companies and taken off of taken off the market? I love the one that says shaving makes the hair grow back thicker. No, age makes the hair grow back thicker. And a glass of Coca-Cola could dissolve a tooth overnight. Well, I doubt whether that's true, but I do know, because I've done it, that if you're like at the river and you have to clean a carburetor, hot Coca-Cola does a really good job. But so we were in the council meeting in the last council meeting, and we heard a few things. The Thin Blue Line flag and Blue Lives Matters, we were told, were created in 2014, and supposedly by Andrew Jacobs. And we were told that they were created in opposition to Black Lives Matter, and we were told they were a symbol of white supremacy and racism. That's what I heard. I heard that specifically out of the NAACP. So is it inappropriate? If they said it's inappropriate for that flag to be carried by the Saugus football team or flown in any public schools. That's what we were told by speakers that came up and spoke against that flag. So how do you determine what to believe? I mean, do you read posts on Facebook and just believe everything they say? I don't. Do you watch MSNBC, CNN, or Fox and then decide that one guy's going to tell you the right answer? Nah. What you need to do is you need to do some research. Do you do research? Do you just read opinion columns? Because I was an opinion columnist. And I know the opinion columnists, they write things to get people talking, to create dialogue, not necessarily to be purveyors of the absolute positive truth. And you watch news broadcasts that shares the presenter's opinion. So if a news anchor gets up there and starts talking, and then you realize that that's what they think rather than what they know, it's not a good thing. So I looked, when I went to go research this, I went to go look for an interview with quotes. Rather than just someone telling me that they thought something was real, I wanted to see quotes from the individuals that were involved.
And did you find any?
I did. So what I found out, I finally found the Marshall Report. Has anybody ever heard of that before? I never have. But it's a 501c3 news service, And out of all the things, and there's a lot of stuff online about the thin blue line flag, but out of all the things, they were all discussions about what someone thought it meant, what they had heard that it had meant. But in this particular case, the Marshall Project actually had an interview with Andrew Jacobs, and so now I was going to listen to what he said and then attempt to verify what he said was true or not. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So in 2014, Andrew Jacobs was watching protests of the police killings of Garner, Brown, and Rice, and he had seen the image of the flag on patches and stickers. He didn't invent it. He saw it. Now, it turns out that if you go look at the history of the blue line flag, this thin blue line flag concept has been in use for over 100 years. And no one really knows when it actually morphed into its current version, but there were stickers and patches, and he told that to the Marshall Project, but not an actual flag. So we don't know whether someone had it on a flag before or not, but he did. He put it on a flag. He was a high school student at the time, and he had attended a memorial service for a police officer that had been killed on the job, and he was concerned and unhappy about it. So Andrew Jacobs now is the president of the Thin Blue Line USA. It's a retailer. It's not a political group. It's a retailer. And he's devoted exclusively to the sale of pro-police flags, T-shirts, neckwear, and jewelry. And he claims, he said, the flag has no association with racism, hatred, or bigotry. It's a flag to show support for law enforcement, no politics involved. Now, he can say that, but I wanted to go verify it. So I went and I pulled up his website. And in this case, I took a picture of my laptop rather than carve it up or get an electronic copy, because I want to show you that that's exactly what I did. And lo and behold, that's what it is. It's a retailer. And if you go to it, you'll see all different kinds of pro-police paraphernalia and clothing and so forth that he sells. So when asked by the Marshall Report reporter, Jacob said the flag was not a direct reaction to Black Lives Matter. That was an idea suggested by the story in another magazine. So someone says, well, I think that's what happened. That's not truth. I can much more believe when I hear it out of someone's mouth, and then I go verify what got said. And he disavowed its use in Charlotte, if it actually got used in Charlotte. So he indicated he may have first seen the flag after protests spurned his interest, and that might be why it came to his attention, but it was not because of Black Lives Matter or a reaction or trying to promote white supremacy. From the interview, the blue line flag image was not designed in 2014 by Andrew Jacob, but was copied from other materials. And he was not in conflict with Black Lives Matter, as suggested by Harper's Magazine. And he officially disavowed its use, if it was used in Charlotte, by any white supremacist groups. But was it even used in Charlotte? So what I did was, I went back to the MSNBC post, and the MSNBC post had a link to Charlotte. Anybody see a thin blue line flag there? No, I didn't see one either. So I thought, well, maybe they just didn't get it. So I went to the ABC site. This is the ABC picture of Charlotte. You see any blue line flags there? No. I just didn't. So, no, I didn't see any either. So then I said, well, what about Blue Lives Matter? What about that group? Where did it come from? So I started looking at them. Blue Lives Matter was founded in 2016, not 2014. And its mission statement online, I went over and I got its mission statement off its website, was serving and honoring American law enforcement, tirelessly celebrating their lives and contributions to the communities they protect. And Blue Lives Matter is a media company made up entirely of active and retired law enforcement officers. So Andrew Jacobs couldn't have been on there. I don't think there are any high school students that are active or retired law enforcement. Do you, Marcia? So it turns out that the thin blue line flag is not something that was generated to counteract or in protest with Black Lives Matter. And does the thin blue line flag represent racism? I grabbed this off of the MSNBC site, which after it goes all through all this stuff about talking about how it was used, it turns out and says, well, it's a flag symbolized by a field of stars which represents citizens are integral to the message of the flag, and those who want to express their support for police officers and their partnership in the mission of law and order should feel free to fly the thin blue line flag. Look, we have Captain Diaz and his group are a great group of people. They represent all different races, ethnicities, religions, and I have yet to ever see any of them or hear any of them make any comments of a racial nature. These guys are good. They protect us, and we should do everything we can to honor them. So from now on, when you hear a story, when someone comes up in front of the room and portrays someone or something in a negative light, you need to research and validate it as true, or you might be spreading an urban legend, right? Remember, urban legend is a story of obscured origin with little or no supporting evidence that spreads spontaneously in various forms and is usually false. I thought it was interesting. I said I wouldn't do this. Wait a minute. I thought it was interesting about Facebook. When I get on Facebook, I don't only see people that agree with me. Actually, I get on Facebook, I see most people that don't agree with me. So I don't know, but I don't think that the membership of the round table, like Dr. Winger, Dr. Winger, who originally went to the school board to complain about this, nor the representative of the NAACP are doing us any favor by coming constantly in front of the public and telling us what we're supposed to hate, dislike, disavow ourselves with. They should be coming to us to tell us about how we can all come together and promote diversity. That's what they were supposed to be doing, right? Right. Okay. So anyway, that was, if I have any questions, I'll answer them where I got the information. But I'm going to bring it up again at the council meeting. At the next council meeting, they'll get the 3-minute version. What?
Is Andrew Jacobs still alive?
Yes.
Why don't you just write him?
Write him? Okay. If I can find out how to write him, I will. Well, I can get to him through the Thin Blue Line USA. I'll write him. Okay. Good. Maybe I can get him to come here. Or maybe we can do a Zoom, how about a Zoom interview?